Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning? I'm just, as you can see, I'm here at the gravesite, and I'm just walking this morning and just getting my body moving. Weirdly enough, well, I don't know if it's a normal thing in other places, but in my area, there's they built an actual walking trail through the graveyard, so a lot of walkers and runners come through here. And so, obviously it's a really peaceful place to be. And it's a really nice grave site. It's kept really clean and well. And so, it really is a nice place to walk. Of course, use discernment and be respectful of the grounds, but it is a nice place to walk. So, I don't know if you guys saw me yesterday, some of my shorts, but the truth is I've been going through a lot of changes and adjustments and pivots, and I know many of us have. I'm not the only one that's facing some financial tightness. The reality is I'm still very blessed and highly favored in Jesus' name. I received that, but that doesn't take away the fact that things are not moving the way that they used to. So just a little background. Hi, I'm Bree. And I have a rare medical condition that is called trimethylaminuria. And so what this medical condition is a metabolic condition that makes it very hard to, digest certain things. And so because of that, it gives you a body odor. So with it giving you a body odor, I am not able to actually live, well, I wouldn't say not live a regular life, because I do live a regular life, more so just how you can just go work and, everybody deals with certain things, maybe bullying or something like that. But the type of harassment that we face is just not normal. So because of that, it has caused me to be forced to create other areas of income, which has been, solely building my own business. It took me years to get my business to a point to where it was actually yielding a real income. And thank you so much for yielding a real income and not just like a hobby. And so I've tried many different things. I've tried selling hair, selling lashes, selling nails, all in the beauty industry, really in the beauty sector, but just trying to figure out and find a hold that, that actually works. But at the end of the day, I never could really find anything that really worked for me until 2018. I decided that I would start selling on Etsy, and I started off selling what I was already selling, so like lashes and things like that. And then I came across this YouTube video of this girl that had a lip gloss company, and she was complaining about how hard it was to get this lip gloss base that she needs to use in order to create her lip gloss. And so once I saw that video, I was like, if I could be able to recreate this product that people need in order to create their cosmetic line, then that will be giving me something to do that is in business is actually going to work, because it's something that people need, right? Long story short, I went to my husband and I was like, babe, I have this wonderful idea. I know I've been in business and business has not been that great, but I really want to try this thing. And again, I was an entrepreneur for many years, on and off, nothing really substantial. One thing I'm very blessed to say is that my husband has always been my teammate. He has always been my advocate. He has always been my best friend, literally. So like, I remember like anytime I meet people, they'd be like, oh, like, do you have a lot of friends? I don't. And then the reason why I really don't have a lot of friends is because my husband is my best friend. And I mean that with everything in me. Like, he is my confidant. He is my advocate. And obviously he's human. He's not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But no offense, my husband's pretty great. He's pretty great. And I know he would say the same about me. Like, he's an amazing guy by God's grace. And I don't take that for granted. And he has stood by me through thick and thin. He meant his vows when he said them. And so when I came to him with this idea, he was like, okay, honey, like, we've tried other things. And I hope I'm not covering the speaker because it looks like I was. Okay, honey, we've tried other things. But I really kind of want to see, what this is about. So I then was telling him, like, okay, well, here's the proposal. So I actually wrote out a business proposal with the idea, how much it would cost me, how much the supplies would cost me, what would be necessary to do it, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, he gave me the investment money. I put it in the business, and the business took off fast because it was a need for it. And that's the thing about business. Like, when you find a need, something that people need, like, I can't do this if I don't have this, then a business will be successful. The key to any business is finding a need, finding a necessity, not finding a want, not finding a desire, not finding something I maybe need, but finding something that people actually need. So the cosmetic base, which is called Versagel, is a base that is needed in order to create a lip gloss, period. And so once I figured out that that was something that people needed, I then realized, like, okay, how can I recreate this? So one thing that I've been blessed with is I'm really good at researching things. And so I went and started researching, all the needs and all the things that was necessary in order to make this product an actual thing that I can present. Into an actual product, essentially. So again, it took off. When I got on Etsy, I would say it was about a month or two. Sales were a little bit slow coming in, but when I tell you they came in. I have videos, I still to this day, of memories of, like, what that actually, what is that, a dragonfly? I have videos till this day of what that actually looked like for me. It was an amazing time to have that kind of rush in a business where, boom, boom, boom. I mean, money's coming in like water. Money is coming in like water. And so once I saw that this business was successful, I then naturally wanted to level up the business. And because because this was like actually my first successful business, I then had to, it was tax season. Tax season came around. And it was time for me and my husband to do taxes. At this time, my husband had already had his business, a successful business, up and running a year or so prior to mine. But we both agreed at this point when we went to the tax professional that we both needed to register our businesses because our businesses were no longer hobbies, and it was now occurring so much money that taxes would be absolutely ridiculous if we did not do so. And we needed to protect our assets. So once we got that advice from the tax professional, we decided to go ahead and do that because obviously we wanted to make sure we protected any assets that we possibly had, and we want to make sure that if we were going to do business, that we were not going to just be doing business as a hobby, especially if it was yielding more than what a hobby would yield. And so we went ahead and asked the tax professional, like, what do we need to do? And he was like, well, you need to go ahead and get your LLC, blah, 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 blah. So we went ahead and did a step-by-step process to go ahead and do that and get our businesses registered. Now, my husband's business was already registered, actually before mine, because he has to. As a used car wholesaler, you have to be registered. So it's not like a choice, it's a requirement. So he already had been prior registered. But with my business going up, I now had to register my own side. And so I went ahead and did that. Once I registered my business was still going very, very well. I registered in like 2019, before the pandemic. Business still going well, still making a lot of sales, still making a lot of money. To average, it's, to some people this might not be a lot, but to average $2,000-$3,000 in sales a week was nothing. It was nothing. I'm not even trying to be exaggerating. Like, it was nothing. But hold on one second. Something's walking past. But ultimately, I had gotten to a point to where the pandemic hit, and business indeed started to slow down. So once business started to slow down for me, this is really beautiful right here with the trees. So once business started to slow down for me, I was then like, okay, how can I pivot this and how can I turn this into something more serious? Because not saying that I wasn't serious before, but this was my first business that was ever successful. So there was a part of me that was just like, okay, will this last forever? Or is this just a phase? Like, what is what? What's up? So once I saw that the business was actually doing well year after year, I then was like, okay, I need to further invest in this. So ultimately, I decided to go and become a cosmetic chemist. So when I decided to go become a cosmetic chemist, I did a whole bunch of research on how to become one. At first, I was just going to be a formulator, which is nothing wrong with that if you just want to be a formulator. But then I realized that I really want a lab. Like, I really want a really seriously structured business. And in order to do so, this one's nice too. In order to do so, that will require me to be a professional and a licensed one at that. So I did some research on how to become a cosmetic chemist for a while. And ultimately, I came across a lot of formulating programs that teach you how to formulate. And then I came across the Institute of Personal Care, which is an accredited program in Australia. And so they have a couple programs with them. You can either learn how to just formulate with them, or you can go through their actual diploma course, which gives you a degree in cosmetic chemistry, and you can be officially considered a cosmetic chemist, and you will also be a part of the Cosmetic Chemist Society, which is recognized across the entire world for cosmetic chemists. You cannot join that unless you are a cosmetic chemist. So these are all the accolades you would get, as well as you will end up getting your actual degree from them if you pass. And so you'll officially be a cosmetic chemist. Now, if you don't want to go through that whole thing, because it's not cheap, but it's not super expensive either, depending on, your income. So that's what I had and eventually went to go do to become a cosmetic chemist. Now, becoming a cosmetic chemist was the best thing I ever did to further invest in myself and my business. I don't regret it. And though it has taken me longer than I wanted it to take me, it was the best decision I ever made. And a lot of reasons it took me longer. Like, so you can finish this program probably in like 3 to 6 months. Excuse me, if you gun it, like, you know, if you push through. But you have up to 4 years to finish. And of course, me, Bree, I took the whole 4 years. And let me explain. Calm down. That was not my intention. My intention was not to take 4 years to learn something. But in the midst of learning something, I went through a pandemic. My business went through a pandemic. I had gotten pregnant. I was very sick in my pregnancy. And ultimately, I was at a point to where I was just like, there's so much going on. I'm dealing with TMAU stuff. Excuse me. I'm dealing with personal stuff. I'm dealing with health stuff in regards to being pregnant. And, like, this is a mausoleum outside, though. I'm dealing with all of these things. And, well, this person passed in 2020. Maybe it was due to COVID. May you rest in peace, Donald. So I'm dealing with all of these things. And, you know, what am I to do now? That's what I was stuck with. So going through all of those emotions and going through all those trials and tribulations while also being a student, while also learning, while also trying to keep my business afloat, caused me to delay a lot of things in studying. I mean, life was lifing. Life is always lifing, isn't it? So, yeah. It took me a while to get to a point to where life is lifing and I still could, you know, do the things that I need to do, because before, when life is lifing, I just be like depressed. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Like, I don't want to do this, you know? So yeah, long story short, that's why it took me so long to finish. I'm actually in my final phase right now where they're grading all of my assessments and going over all of my stuff to make sure, going over my assessments to grade them. And, you know, if I need to revise something, then they'll allow me to revise it. Otherwise, they will go ahead and push me through so I can take my final exam, send them some of my formula samples via mail to Australia, let them overlook them, and then by God's grace, I will receive my degree in chemistry and be a cosmetic chemist, officially on paper, documented. But there's so many different pathways you can become a cosmetic chemist. You can also go the college way, which is not very widely spread, I would say, in the US. But I know a few other colleges that are starting to do it. So you can definitely do your research to see if you just want to go ahead and do it the college route way. Or you can go ahead and go to Institute of Personal Care Science and do it this way. You can be better than me. Okay? I'm okay being an example. You could be better than me and, go ahead and finish your course as quick as you can. But the main thing I would say is, if you're going to try to be serious about having a cosmetic business, I would say you should go further than just being a formulator. Unless you just want like a small hobby, business or something like that, then you'll be fine as just a formulator. You'll be just fine. Like, there's a lot of people that have cosmetic businesses that are just formulators and they do well for themselves. But the key here is that you need to know how to professionally formulate. But if you're somebody that wants to get into like the manufacturing field, which essentially is where I'm in and where I'm headed to, you need to go ahead and get a diploma, a degree in cosmetic chemistry. Why? Because to be completely honest with you, it's one thing to formulate cosmetics on your own from just like Googling things or, doing your own research. And it's another thing, a whole another thing, to actually formulate it correctly and know what to search and know how to search and knowing the appropriate avenues, platforms to search on, so yeah. If you're somebody who's very creative, loves to, create cosmetics, loves to formulate, I definitely would recommend you to go ahead and either sign up for a professional formulating course or go ahead and search for a cosmetic chemistry degree course. Hi. But either way, if you're going to be formulating cosmetics for real, you need to know what you're doing. It's very dangerous. And I know a lot of people do it because the reality is that when most people want to start a business, they just solely think of, oh, what can I do to make, a few dollars? Not really thinking about longevity and also not really thinking about how ultimately the choices that you make are going to affect you. If somebody decides to come and say like, oh, this was not done correctly, or this burned my skin, or I have a rash that I can't explain after using said product. So you definitely want to be careful when it comes to formulating cosmetics. It's not a joke. It's a very serious thing. And if you go out here, on a whim, just know that you are putting yourself in a position that if somebody wants to come and sue your little behind, they can. And they will take you for everything that you have. And by the grace of God, that doesn't happen to you. So for anyone who says, especially in this cosmetic field, that a lot of people feel like, oh, you're a small business. Yes, it's a small business, but it's a serious job. If you're dealing with cosmetics and you don't know how to properly formulate, and all you're doing is going based off of YouTube videos and Google, baby, I'm here to tell you, you are putting yourself in a position to be sued, and not in a good way. And I'm not passing judgment because I started like that. I'm not passing judgment because a lot of us start like that. But I'm now telling you, for somebody who is being professionally trained to be a cosmetic chemist, that the amount of information that I learned is substantial. I'm not just learning how to formulate. I'm learning the science of cosmetics. I'm learning the science of it all. Not just for freaking lip gloss, but everything. I'm learning how to create, from perfume to aerosols to all type of body washes and creams and lotions. There's nothing I wouldn't be able to create if I want to create it. Oh, this one fell down. All right, I found somebody gravesite that is just in shambles, and I just can't seem to walk past it without trying to fix it. Try. Uh-oh. Messy, but let's see. I'm more, because it looks like it's attached, but I can walk past that accident. My heart just wouldn't let me do it. But yeah, I'm saying all this to say, if you want to start a business, start it. But please start any business you want to do. It doesn't have to just be cosmetics. Any business you want to do, please start it with a mindset that if I want this business to go further than just my backyard, if I want to be on multiple platforms, if I want to have a successful business, I need to structure things properly, or I'm going to put myself in a position where I'm going to lose a lot of money. I'm going to put myself in a position where I could be sued, and I'm going to put myself in a position where ultimately it hurt me more than enjoy what I do. I love formulating. There's so much to cosmetic chemistry, though. It's not just formulating, it's R&D, research and development process, it's the manufacturing process, it's the stability testing, it's the microbial testing or bacterial testing. All these things are part of that process. And I'm telling you, Google can't teach it to you. It can't. It can't teach it to you. So if you're really serious about building a business or possibly creating a manufacturing cosmetic company, then you need to become and go find a school that's going to teach you so. So let me turn you guys around. Guys, it is a pleasure walking with you guys. A little sweaty, but I'll be fine. It's wet. And cleared my mind a little bit. I'll definitely come on and chat with you guys later. And until the next book, bye.